Hi, I'm Kim, and I am so excited that you're joining me here today in beautiful Cancun, Mexico for balance and stretching. Today, we're going to be working on a combination of both to help really build our bodies up so that we can move along beautifully throughout our day. So let's get started. If you'd like, you can use a chair to hold on to for some of the balance work. If you have a chair, come to the center of your mat and you can place the chair right in front with the back of the chair facing your body and the seated part of the chair facing out, so you have a nice position to hold on to. And we'll bring our hands out to the side wherever we are, or we can have our arms along our side, palms face forward, thumbs point up, and we're just going to take a nice few inhales and exhales to get into this practice. So take a nice long inhale, arms out to the side, and then exhale, relax the arms all the way down. Inhaling, arms sweep out, and then exhale, release all the way down. One more time, inhale, arms sweep out, and exhale, release, and we'll roll the shoulders back, just letting go of any tension in the upper body. Feeling free, as always, to hold on to the chair if you'd like. And we're going to start with our hands on our hips, or feel free to hold onto the chair. We'll separate the feet out nice and wide, and we're just going to do a few warm-ups to warm up the low body. So if you have the chair, you can hold on, and we'll sit back in our seat, bending both knees, belly's lifted up, chest is lifted, and then push into the feet. Let's try that again. Sit down in our seat. Good. And then push into the feet to rise up. You can feel free to bring your hands to your hips if you'd like and do the same thing. Just noticing the sensation of the ground beneath our feet. And up. And we'll do it again. Take it down, seated in our seat, and up. Excellent. So now we're going to do with the element of balance. So if you'd like, if you have a chair in front of you, you can turn sideways and bring your left hand onto the chair. Your belly is nice and tall, and we're gonna raise that right knee up. So bring your right hand to your right hip if you'd like, and we'll just start by lifting the heel off the ground with that right foot. So I'm holding onto the chair, or my hands are on my hips, and then my right heel is lifted. So feel free to stay here, or another option is to lift that knee off the mat and flex the foot. Draw your belly in and up. Notice your standing hip. See if you can bring it in underneath you a little bit more. And really engaging. Draw your belly in and relax. Take it all the way down. Very good. Let's try it again. So we're either holding onto a chair or our hands are on our hips. Let's have that left hand on the chair if you'd like. Raise that right heel off the mat. And this might be where you stay today, and that's totally fine. Just noticing the connection of your feet with the earth. And if you'd like, try to raise that foot off the mat, bend the knee in front of you, flex your right foot, and then notice again your left hip drawn in and underneath you. And just take a few breaths here. And relax all the way down. Single leg balances are so good for us because as we're walking through our day, if we catch a toe or maybe catch a toe on a curb or something like that, it really helps us to recover. And recovering when we're walking or running or just playing is so important to keep our body safe. Let's try it again. Let's bring the hand to the chair or onto the hip, and then we'll lift that right heel up, and then lifting the foot off the mat. Draw your belly in and up, lengthen through the crown of the head, everything rising up towards the sky. And we'll release it down. Very good. One more time, let's do it. We'll grab onto the chair, lift the heel, and then possibly lift the whole foot up. Very good. Relax it all the way down, facing forward. Just shake it out for a moment. So this can be very tiring for the standing leg. So we're just going to shake it out, let everything go. And then let's try the other side. So allow your body to turn to the side now. My right hand is facing forward and my left hand is on my hip. If you want to hold on to a chair, you can, or bring both hands to your hips. And we're just going to lift that left heel up off the mat. So my toes are on the ground, my left heel is up. Stay here, or if you'd like, try lifting that whole foot off the mat. Again, your right hip is underneath you. Draw your belly in and up for support, and then release all the way down. All right. One side might feel a little different than the other. No judgment, just noticing and observing the differences between both sides. Let's try it again. Either hold on to a chair or hands on hips. Lift that left heel off the mat, and then draw your belly in and up. If you want, raise the foot up off the mat. And just take a few breaths here. And release all the way down. Good, let's try it again. Hands on the chair if you'd like. Lift the heel, lift your belly up, and then flex that foot. And release all the way down. I feel my feet turning on. All right, let's try one more time, holding onto the chair or hands on hips. Lift the heel, draw your belly in and up, and then flex that foot, lift it off the mat. All right, and take it down. Let's shake it out. Good, releasing any tension in that right hip. Excellent job. Okay, so we're gonna work into a few more balancing postures. Single leg balancing postures to really, really help all the proprioceptors in the bottom of our feet turn on, which helps with our balance. So stepping your feet about shoulder width, the chair's in front of us if we need it, and that's totally fine. Or if you want, you can turn sideways and use one hand on the chair, whatever feels better for you today. I'm gonna face forward so you can see better. And we're gonna shift our weight over to the right foot. So my weight is in my right foot, but notice my hip is not sticking out, it's underneath my body. Take your left heel and bring it to the inner part of your right ankle. So my left toes are on the ground, my knee is out towards the side. Feel free to hold on to a chair if you'd like, or again, facing side and having one hand on the chair is great. Draw your belly in and up, lift your chest, lift all the way through the crown of the head. And you can stay here, or if you want, you can move that left foot maybe onto your low calf, or even reach down and bring it up into your inner thigh. Press your foot into your thigh, the knee points out towards the side. Just as long as the foot is not on the knee, it's either above or below the knee, you're doing great. Good. If you want to play with the arms a little bit, maybe arms out to the side, thumbs point up. Draw your chest up, shoulders open. Good. Right into tree pose. You're doing great. Feel free to use your hands on the chair for balance. One more inhale here, and then release all the way down. Good. Let's try the other side. We're going to shake it out for a moment, just releasing any tension in the low body. And then feet underneath us, shift your weight over to the left this time. And bring your right heel to the inner part of your left ankle. My right toes are down on the ground. Notice that hip can really splay out if we let it. So draw the hip underneath you. Lift your low belly up, chest lifts up through the crown of the head. And then you can stay here or bring that right foot to the inner calf. Knee comes out towards the side, or reach down and bring it to the inner thigh. Whatever feels right for you today, just not on the knee itself. Feel free to hold on to a chair if you'd like. Woo! Or arms out to the side. Just playing with the arms, thumbs point up. Excellent. And this is all about having fun, so don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. Perfect is non-existent. This is all about you just playing. And release all the way down. Excellent. Let's shake it out. Very good. So from here, we're going to separate our feet nice and wide and play with that balance one more time. So feel free to have the chair right in front of you, feet are nice and wide, and we're gonna bring our hands to our hips or hold on to the chair with one or two hands. And then we'll shift our weight over to the left, point the right toe. Again, notice if that hip is splaying out, draw it underneath you. Lift your belly up, roll the shoulders down the back, and then we're gonna flex that foot off the ground if you'd like, or stay right where you are. Flex that foot. Good, so now my right foot is lifted off the mat. And then if you want, you can play with the arms a little bit. Feel free, thumbs point up, reach the fingertips nice and wide out to expanding your entire body. If you want to play a little bit more, you can start to shift the angle of your body. Don't worry if you fall out of it. This is all about having fun. Good, just playing around a little bit. And we'll step out of it and release. Very good, shake it out. And we'll try it one more time. Let's have that feet separated out from right to left. Hands come on the hips. Holding onto a chair if you'd like. And then we'll shift our weight over to the right. Point your left toes out to the side. And this may be where you stay today. That's totally fine. Or you can start to engage that hip underneath you and then flex that left foot off the mat. So now I'm standing on my right leg, just feeling my toes and feet underneath me. Holding onto the chair, feel free if you'd like. You can reach the hands out to the side, thumbs point up. Good, draw your belly in and up, open up the whole heart center. And then if you want, you can just play with the angle of your body, just having fun a little bit. Good. Keep that smile on your face. This is not serious. This is all about having fun. And then releasing all the way down. Just shake the legs out a little bit. We're gonna start to make our way into more of a flexibility and stretching segment of this class. So you did great in balance. Now we're gonna open up all those muscles that we just worked. We're gonna start with calves. So we'll turn sideways and bring that right leg forward, left leg back. Feel free to hold on to a chair. The chair might be in front of you or on the side, and that's totally fine. Bend that front knee. My back heel is all the way down on the ground and my leg is straight, so lift the hamstring up. And we're opening up the calf on the left leg this time. You can come forward in that front leg a little bit, just as long as your knee is over your heel, and keep that back heel grounded. You might feel a nice opening in the calf. From here, if you want a little bit more of a stretch in the lower part of the calf, keep your heel down, but bend that knee slightly, and it might move the stretch a little bit for you. Let's stay here for a few breaths. Holding this posture. Good, and then coming back. Let's turn the chest face forward, and we're just gonna turn the opposite way this time. So the left foot is forward, the right foot is back, but we're gonna separate our feet from right to left a little bit so we have lots of balance. Feel free to hold on to the chair. My knee is bent in the front, my back heel is down on the ground, and my hamstring is lifted. You can bring your hands to your hips if you want. And we're just holding that nice stretch, opening up the calf on the right foot this time. Stay here for a few breaths. And then bending the knee just slightly. Moving the stretch down to the lower calf this time. And then lengthening the leg and coming back to center. Good. So from here, we'll keep our feet nice and wide, toes point out to the side. If you want, you can hold on to the chair. That might be nice for balance, or onto a wall. And we're gonna squat down for a moment, and then bring the hands to the hips if it feels good for you. I'm gonna rock and shift my weight and lift my toe up, opening up my hamstring, the back of the leg. Good. Stay here for a moment. Feel free to hold on to the chair. The inner thigh is opening. And then let's come back to center, bend both knees. Let's try the other side. So flex the toe up, shift your weight. You can kind of dip into it. Keep your knees slightly bent at all times. Never lock out the joint. Even that extended leg, the knee is bent slightly. And coming back to center, and we'll raise it all the way up. Bring our feet back in underneath us. We're going to start to make our way down onto the mat. So if you're seated, you can, or if you're standing and holding onto a chair and you want to be seated in the chair, feel free to do so. We'll separate our feet from right to left. Start to bend the front knee. Bring your hand onto your knee and reach down towards the earth. Drop your back knee down, and then both hands, both knees, and we're going to come to a seated posture. So dip your hip down, sweep your legs all the way through to seated. Or get into that comfy chair, move up towards the front part of your chair and plant your feet all the way on the ground. Let's roll the shoulders back, releasing any tension in the upper body. And relaxing all the way down. Take your left hand and bring it to your right knee. If you're seated, you can do the same thing. Reach back behind you. If you're seated, you can grab onto the back of the chair, and then we're gonna look over the back shoulder if that feels good for your neck. So just relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Soften the face and the jaw. And just take a few breaths into the space. And then look over the front shoulder, maybe opening up the cervical spine a little bit. Take a few breaths here. And slowly unwind. Let's try the other side. So take that right hand to the left knee, reach back behind, look over the back shoulder, relax the shoulders away from the ears. And then stay with the upper body, but look over the front shoulder. Soften everything that's not working. So just relax all the muscles. And then coming back to center. We worked into the hips a lot, so we're gonna relax the hips a little bit by moving the upper body, almost like stirring a pot. If you're seated, you can hold on to the sides of a chair. If you're on the ground, you can bring your hands to your knees. We're gonna shift our weight forward and start to move our body in one direction all the way around. So nice and slow, just moving. Opening up the hips, the low back in one direction. Belly is lifted to support our low back. And just continuing to breathe. Maybe feeling a nice warming sensation in the hips and the low back. And one more time around. Let's find ourselves back at center. We're going to take it in the opposite direction. So lean forward and take it around in the opposite direction. Good, nice gentle movement. So important after we do those standing single leg balances that we open everything up. Stretching is a great way to counteract all the work that we do throughout the day. And let's bring it back to center and just relax. We're gonna make our way down onto the ground. So if you're seated, you can stay right where you are. And we're gonna sweep our legs out to the side, lean over, and just start to scoot our way down onto our elbows. We got a little sand here. That's what comes with the beach. And then lay all the way down onto our back. So from here, let's cross that right ankle over the left ankle. And if you're seated, you can do the same thing. Just folding forward over your front legs. If you're laying down, draw the thigh into the chest, grab onto the thigh, flex both feet, and just get a nice opening in that right glute. We'll take a few breaths here, just letting the muscles relax and expand. One more deep breath here. And release all the way down. Both feet flat on the mat. This time, let's cross that left ankle over the right ankle. If you're seated, you can do the same thing and just fold over your legs. We'll draw the thigh into the chest. Flex both feet. And take a few breaths into the left glute this time. And release all the way down. Plant both feet. If you're seated, coming all the way up. And we're going to start to move into the hips movement a little bit more. So hugging the knees into the chest. If you're seated, you can bring your right knee up, and we'll just do one side at a time if you're seated. One hand on each knee, and we're just going to start to rowboat the knees. So draw the knees into the chest. Take them out wide in opposite directions, and then back to center. If you're in a chair, you can do just one knee around in a circle. And the idea of this posture is to start to warm up the hips and allow synovial fluid, which is that liquid that helps lubricate the joint. We want it to flow as much as possible into the joint so we can move freely throughout the day. So you might start to feel a little bit of heat building there. Just allow your breath to come in and out of the body. And we'll go one more time. And then come back to center. If you're in a chair, you can bring that foot all the way down to the ground and hug your opposite knee into the chest and start to make those circles. We're going to move our knees in the opposite direction if we're on the floor, and push your knees away and then around all the way in the opposite direction. So we're rowing the boat, but just going the opposite way. This is one of the best things you can do first thing in the morning, just getting everything going, laying in bed, wherever you are to start your day. Just moving the legs around a little bit. And coming back to center, and we'll plant the feet. And let's separate the feet nice and wide out to the edges of the mat. If you are seated, you can bring your knees and feet out wide in a V, and then allow both knees to fall to the left into a gentle twist. Great thing again in the morning for wringing out any tension from sleep. Just let your legs feel very heavy. If you're seated, you'll turn your body over to the left and reach back with your left hand towards the back of the chair. And take one more deep breath here. Let's bring the knees back to center. And feet are nice and wide. You can unwind if you're seated and go to the other side. Allow both knees to fall to the right this time. Legs feeling very heavy, and just noticing any differences from right to left. With no judgment, just observing. And just a few more breaths here. Bringing the knees back to center. And we'll allow the knees and feet to separate, and then let the knees fall in towards each other. So just allowing the hips to open up a little bit on the outside. Same thing if you're seated, the feet can stay wide, and the knees just kind of fall in towards the middle a little bit, releasing any tension in the low back. And then bring the knees back to center. Bring your feet underneath you a little bit. We're gonna hug the right knee into the chest. If you're seated, you can do the same thing. Hands behind the thigh. And then we'll allow that leg to straighten, either out in front of us, if you're in a chair, or straight up towards the sky. Keep the knee bent as much as you need to. Rotate the ankle around in one direction. And then the other. Good. And then, so important, we're gonna open up the IT band and the outer hip. When we do single leg balances, we work very much into those muscles. So keep your left hand on the inner part of your right leg. Bring your right hand along your side. If you're seated, you could hold onto the outer edge of the chair. And we're just gonna take that top extended leg and move it to the left a little bit until we feel sensation in our outer right thigh. For me, I feel that right away. How about you? Just take a few breaths here. You might feel a little shaking, and that's okay. Just the muscles lengthening. And bring it back to center and relax that leg all the way down. Let's try the other side. So hugging the knee into the chest, bring your hands back behind your thigh. If you're seated, right foot is planted, left knee is in towards the chest. And then we're gonna extend that leg either out in front of us, or if you're laying down, straight up towards the sky. Keep the knee bent as much as you need to and rotate the ankle around in one direction. And then the other direction. Pause for a moment. And then we'll keep that right hand on the inner part of our right leg. You can bring your arm along your side or hold on to the outer edge of the chair. And just cross that leg a little bit towards the right. Keep both hips on the mat. You might feel a nice opening in the outer edge of your left leg. And come back to center, release all the way down. And from here, you can hug the knees into the chest. We're gonna make our way over to one side in the fetal position. If you're seated, stay right where you are. And we'll push all the way up to seated, using our hands underneath us, and then swinging the legs back around. And we'll finish with just a few gentle exercises to open up the side body. So bringing the fingertips out to the side. You can keep your hands planted. If you want, you can hold on to a chair, whatever feels right for you. Or if you want, you can bring your right hand to your right shoulder, lean over to the side, and open up the whole side body. Take a deep breath into the right ribs. And bring it back to center. Relax the hands all the way down. Let's try the opposite side. You can hold on to the side of a chair if you want to. Bring your left hand, left shoulder, and then take it all the way over to the side. And back to center. Relax the hands. Let's take a nice inhale. Arms sweep out, thumbs point up. And exhale. Do it again. Thumbs up, palms face forward, and this time hold the hands out there. We're just gonna bring the hands opening up the chest, so drag them back just a little. Take a deep breath into the heart, into the front of your body. Take a nice inhale here, and then exhale, release all the way down. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm Kim in beautiful Cancun, Mexico. I'm gonna make our way all the way up to standing. So we'll shift our way over to one hip, sweep our legs out back behind us. Bring our hands planted down, come to hands and knees with the chest facing down, and then bring one foot forward. curl your back toes, lift your back knee, bring your hand to your knee and scoot yourself all the way up. Plant the hands and come all the way up to standing. Thank you so much again for joining me here today. I am so looking forward to seeing you next time. Take care.